Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new deep dive.
Great to be here.
All right, so tonight we are diving headfirst into the fallout from a massive WrestleMania weekend, specifically the first Raw after the big event.
Yeah, the Raw after Mania, always a huge show.
Absolutely. Think of this as your quick guide, your shortcut, really, to understanding everything that just went down and, maybe more importantly, what's coming next in this Raw Universe mode.
Because that's the thing, right? This show isn't just fallout, it's the setup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're unpacking the big moments, the new champs, the surprising challenges, and those little seeds being planted for future rivalries. So much happened. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is just how fast everything shifts. WrestleMania is the finale, sure, but this Raw, this is page 1 of the next chapter. It sets the whole tone.
You feel it immediately. It lays out the blueprint for the whole next season of storylines, doesn't it?
It really does. Character arcs, championship directions, it all starts right here. The speed is just captivating, no hesitation.
And speaking of no hesitation, let's jump right into maybe the biggest news coming out of Mania Night 2. Logan Matthews, new world champion, beating Austin. Huge.
Monumental win for him.
Right. But then he comes out on Raw, and you're maybe expecting some big celebration, fireworks, arrogance even.
Yeah, the typical champion gloating.
But no, it was different. He felt like a real fighting champion, almost stoic about it. Stood there, looked right down the lens and said,
He's defending the title tonight.
Tonight. Just won it and already putting it on the line.
Yeah.
That's a statement. It felt less like celebrating and more like, okay, the real work starts now. What did that signal to you?
Well, it's more than just being a fighting champion, though it is that too. It's a strategic move, I think. He's controlling the narrative from minute one.
How so?
He's basically saying, I earned this, no fluke, and I'll prove it against anyone right now. It cuts off any doubt before it starts. It tells you he's serious, maybe wants to be seen as a champion for the fans, ready for all comers.
Setting a standard?
Exactly. Defining his era, maybe a new kind of champion for this era, right out of the gate.
But I wonder, does that put too much pressure on him? Say you'll fight anyone, anytime. What happens if later he needs to be strategic, maybe duck a challenge? Has he backed himself into a corner already?
That's a brilliant question. It's definitely a high-wire act. He creates this huge expectation.
Yeah.
And the fans will hold him to it. If he deviates later from that no ducking, no excuses thing, it could look bad. Weak, even.
Right.
But right now, in this post-Mania glow,
Right.
it's powerful. It says he wants to be one of the greats who never back down. It's a gamble, but a bold one.
Okay, so from a champion starting his journey, let's shift gears. Let's talk Danny.
Ah, Danny. Big Mania for him, too.
Huge. Night 1, finally beats The Rock, ends that whole TKO authority nightmare, freedom.
And war, that was. He earned that moment.
So he comes out on Raw, you figure he's going to soak it in, celebrate, finally being clear of all that. But nope. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, the night wasn't quite done with him, was it? Damian Cooper comes out.
Damian Cooper. Young guy. Really been making waves.
And importantly, it wasn't some cheap shot attack. It was respectful.
Very respectful. Damian basically said, Danny, you're one of the best. I want to test myself against you.
That's huge for Damian. Shows his ambition, but also his character. He wants to earn it against top talent.
And Danny. He accepted for Backlash, which tells you a lot about both guys, especially with Danny's situation right now.
Absolutely. This raises an important question, about passing the torch, about where careers go next, because Damian isn't just some random challenger.
Right, he's got that connection with Jayden.
Exactly. Jayden, the new WWE champion, has kind of been mentoring him, guiding his rise.
So it's significant he challenged Danny, not Jayden.
Very significant. It shows respect for Danny, the veteran legend, and it shows respect for his friendship, his alliance with Jayden. He's not ready to cross that line, not yet, anyway.
And for Danny, we know he's got that Hollywood movie shoot coming up right after Backlash.
Right. So this match, it's maybe his last big statement before he steps away for a bit. Chance to have a killer match, put over a younger guy potentially, but also remind everyone he's still elite.
Cementing his own legacy before the break.
Precisely. It's smart. He stays relevant, proves he can still go, maybe gives Damian the rub, maybe beats him to show he's still the man. It keeps the stock high for when he returns.
And for Damian, a win over Danny.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a launch pad.
Career defining. Straight into that main event mix. So Backlash, that match is loaded with meaning for both of them.
Making a mark. Seems like everyone wants to do that this week. Which brings us to Tyson. Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, another interesting moment.
He comes out, stands there alone. No opponent announced, nothing. Just him and a mic.
And that intensity.
Total intensity. And he just lays it out there. Anyone in the back, step up. Come and get this. An open challenge.
And just like that, the IC title feels bigger?
Yeah.
More important.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It creates that buzz, doesn't it? Who's it going to be? You immediately start thinking.
What's fascinating here is just the sheer power of that one challenge. Tyson demanding competition, not waiting for it. That elevates the title's prestige massively.
Turns it into a prize to be chased.
Exactly. And strategically. Brilliant. Suspense, unpredictability. It's a perfect spot to maybe debut someone new, bring back a veteran, or give a dark horse a huge opportunity.
Keeps you guessing for next week.
Totally. In this whole post-Mania reset, every title needs to feel significant. Tyson just made sure the IC belt does. It feels like a real prize again. Who do you think will answer that call next week?
And I have no idea. That's what makes it great. Could be anyone. A returning star, someone unexpected. It really captures your attention.
It screams, this belt matters now. Perfect way to build momentum. Tyson, like Logan, defining his reign through action.
And speaking of defining reigns,
Yeah.
the main event, Jayden, new WWE champion after winning on Mania Night 1, comes out not just to celebrate, but wants a fight, wants to cement
And
it.
needs that first big defense to really make it feel real.
And who answers? His friend, his biggest rival, Danny.
Of course. The history there is just incredible.
Right. SummerSlam, that same title, Danny won that time. The layers.
Yeah.
It just gives you chills thinking about their matches.
And the commentary, I thought, nailed it during the match. They kept saying it wasn't just about who was better, it was about survival.
Yes. That felt right. And in the end, after a hell of a fight, Jayden catches Danny with a roll-up, gets the W.
Huge win for Jayden.
Massive. But importantly, Danny losing that way doesn't hurt him at all. If anything, it just adds to his legend. Took the new champ to the absolute limit.
Absolutely critical point. This win was everything for Jayden. We talked about Damian challenging Danny. Well, Jayden beating Danny. That cements his reign after that, was it, 2.5-year climb back?
Yeah, a long road back to the top for him.
So beating his biggest rival, a guy like Danny, in his first defense, that's huge. It validates everything. And that survival aspect the commentary mentioned, that speaks to the grit you need to be champion.
It wasn't about hate either, the handshake after.
Exactly. Mutual respect. Intense competition, not animosity. It just means this rivalry. It's not over. Not by a long shot. These are the feuds that define eras.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Jayden winning, establishing himself, what does that mean for his relationship with Damian Cooper down the line? Jayden's the mentor, Damian's the protege, but Jayden has the gold Damian presumably wants.
No, that's where the long-term story gets juicy. Jayden's support for Damian is genuine now. But fast forward. Jayden keeps winning, stays on top. Damian keeps rising, but maybe hits a ceiling just below Jayden.
That mentorship could fray.
Oh, easily. It could turn into jealousy, resentment. Damian might feel like, hey, I respect you, but I've earned my shot at your title. That challenge to Danny might just be the first step, delaying the inevitable confrontation with his friend. Those seeds, they're definitely planted now.
Wow. Okay, so looking back at this whole Raw, well, what does this all mean? We got Logan, the new world champ, coming out swinging, setting a fighting precedent.
Yep, immediate action.
We've got Damian Cooper stepping up respectfully to challenge Danny, who's heading out for a bit. A potential torch-passing moment at Backlash.
Veteran versus rising star classic setup.
Tyson throws down the gauntlet, making the IC title feel vital again with that open challenge. Huge suspense there.
Leaves us all guessing for next week.
And Jayden gets that massive defining win over Danny, cementing his WWE Championship reign, but maybe also sowing seeds for future issues with Damian. Seems like the Backlash card is already shaping up to have some absolute bangers.
Oh, for sure. These aren't just random matches happening. They're all connected building blocks for the whole season. That Backlash roadmap is getting clear. Danny versus Damian, Logan's first defense, Tyson's challenger reveal.
And Jayden standing tall for now.
Exactly. And that lingering question, when does Damian decide he wants what Jayden has? So as you're thinking about Backlash, maybe consider this. How are these first moves by Logan, by Jayden, by Tyson, by Damian, how are they going to define their legacies this year? And what twists are coming? Because these early power plays, these respectful challenges, they rarely stay simple for long, especially when championships and friendships are involved. What happens when respect isn't enough anymore?